Okay, our guest is in here, and I know you're dying to meet her. I told you earlier when we were doing the deco around, I said we're setting the pace for our guest to come in. She's a woman of culture. She's a woman who admires local material use. She's no other than Dr. Ufe Chinje Melo. Welcome, Doc. No, I don't even know if I have to shake your hand.
You shouldn't.
Voila! You wanted me to...
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah. Saka your dream. Welcome, Doc.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Ya. For people who don't know, what is this Ya thing? Yawoba.
Yeah, Yawoba. Well, I'm a holder of a title from So, given by the phone of So, who is your phone. You know, so Ya is a queen, is an honor. And Yawoba is because I'm from Baba, so it's Ya of the Baba people.
Okay, that's wonderful.
It's quite an honor.
Quite an honor. Now, you are a doctor in material engineering. What does that mean?
Well, materials engineering is to deal with materials. It's an engineering discipline. Materials, what you mean by that is like the metals, the ceramics, the polymers. I mean, just anything you have around you. You know, it's one material or the other. So I have a PhD in engineering materials. That is metallurgy precisely, but it's among the domain of materials.
Okay. You were born in Santa. You went to primary school in Santa.
I did.
To various areas, but you started and finished.
I started in Santa.
Finished in Santa.
Yeah, my parents were civil servants, you know, and well, they moved from one place to the other. They were both educationists.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad and my mom. You know, so it made us move from one locality to the other.
All right. So you went to primary school, and then you moved on to secondary school in St. Augustine, Banso.
Yes, I did.
And then you moved further to Cas Bambili, where you did your high school and got your A-levels.
Absolutely.
Further went to the University of Yaoundé 1.
You're right.
And then the big thing, you dashed out of Cameroon to London.
Yep.
Yep.
And
you studied in what institution?
Well, I studied at Imperial College of Science and Technology. Now in Science, Technology and Medicine. It's one of the universities of London.
Okay.
Well-renowned university. You know, and well, then I obtained a PhD in
1984.
1984. That's
yes.
Right.
Good school so far. Were your parents rich?
My parents were not rich. They were educationists. So they understood at that early stage the importance of education.
Yes.
And I'm from a family of 9, and all of us went through university.
Okay. When I hear you talk, I want to find out about your schooling. Were you a very bright student? Were you the one who always tells the child, be careful, that your dullness, I don't know where you took it from, because I was always taking first. I don't even know where you're coming from. Were you a bright student?
Yes, but I won't say I was the best in the class.
Yes.
But I had talents in certain disciplines, you know, for example, in the sciences, especially in mathematics. I remember when we were in secondary school, we had the Reverend Father taught us mathematics, and he had a method of, inspiring us by having a sweet. Those special sweets, he was a British priest. Yes. So he always brought some very beautiful sweets and said the first person to finish with the maths would have the sweet. So I always made it and had the sweet, and you know what it meant to the boys. I know there is one of my classmates, he's now in SNH, Francis, and he wasn't happy at all because Ufi always got the sweet, and each time after that he'll challenge me and say, the next time I'll see if you have that sweet, I'll get the sweet, but I always got that sweet.
I like that. So you say you were at least a very good student. You came back in Cameroon, and you came back in 1984, and you started lecturing at the University of Yaoundé 1?
Yes, I came end of 84, and January 85, I started lecturing in the University of Yaoundé 1 in the Department of Inorganic Chemistry.
Yes, and 4 years later, you got married to the love of your life.
I did.
Charles.
Yes. Actually, well, Charles, we got married in 1988, but it's somebody I met when I was in high school. Well, unfortunately, it was a very brief meeting because I went to CAST Kumba, but at that time, CAST Kumba did not have the science laboratory. So the second year, we moved to CAST Bambili. So I met him just before I was to move to CAST Bambili. For sure, he was a lecturer, and I'm sure he admired me, but I didn't know.
Okay.
So just before we moved, coincidentally, we met in town, and he offered me a meal. It was embarrassing, but I went, had the meal, and I said, well, unfortunately, in 2 days' time, I'm going to Bamenda, to Bambili. So he said, well, fine. had admired you, I'd looked at you all this time. I mean, but you're living, life is big, life is ahead of us, you know, move on, think about me, you know. So, well, we corresponded. And after cast
you are the biggest Kitty's Charles. You always give the woman time to think. Go ahead, think about me, playing the soft guy.
That's right, that's right,
that's right. Wasn't he afraid of this long pen aspect of yours? Because you came back a doctor with a very long pen. Wasn't he afraid?
Oh, my God. I'm sure, you know, the pen and life are two different things.
Yes.
You know, I mean, my husband is very bold. Everybody who knows Charles will know there is nothing that is beyond him. So I don't see, I mean, to him, he sees me as a woman.
Okay.
You know, the pen aspect, I'm sure, for sure, occasionally he might think about that, but it's not, I mean, it's not part of the life of our family.
Men are very mischievous. They always have this thing behind their head. Okay, in 1997, you were appointed director of MIPROMALO. 1999. You were appointed the director of MIPROMALO. Okay. What do you think prompted this appointment?
Well, it's quite clear. Sometimes we don't know, but in my case, I knew it happened. Because then the Minister of Scientific Research and Scientific and Technical Research was Professor Hogg Belen. I remember attending a conference in Tanzania with the then director of the institution. He had just been transferred to the ministry as Secretary General, Dr. Mwana. And following that meeting, I was, in the course of that meeting, I was appointed president of a network we put in place, African Industrial Minerals Network. So we got back to Cameroon. I think, well, naturally he saw his minister, I want to talk about this event. And the minister said, no, I've been looking for persons within this discipline. I've asked even within the university. I've never met one. I will not sign that paper. I want to see that lady. You know, so, well, I was informed the minister wants to meet me. Well, of course, I went, met with the minister. And the minister told me, I mean, he was frank, you know. Oh, I've been looking for people in this sector. You know, MIPROMALO, the director has just moved, and I've been finding out what to do.
Okay.
Well, please, I'll be recommending you for that post. I want to find out, because with women, you don't know how they feel, how their husbands feel, so it's usually good to
talk about it first.
You know, so I said, well, Mr. Minister, it's my country. I'm ready to serve this. You know,
all right.
I love, and this is a discipline I love, and I guess eventually that's how it happened.
And for those who don't know, MIPROMALO is the Local Materials Promotion Authority. Okay. Now let's go over to some of the images. We came visit you in the office, and what I wanted to, you know, I was thinking. I said, you had a lot of people. I don't know if those are the images. No, those are not the images. Those are not the images. Can you tell them to? Those are not the images. Not at all. They should get the images right, please. We came to your office, and I saw you heading a lot of people. They were following your lead, and I want to find out, as a woman, what are the challenges of controlling or being there as director of men, women, men, particularly? What are these challenges? Yes,
well, I know you're asking me as a woman, but there's one thing which has guided my life. You know, I've operated generally in, I would say, maybe a male domain, because even when I was studying in the UK, doing engineering, I mean, in the department, most of my colleagues were male. Even here in the university, the Department of Inorganic Chemistry, we were just 2 women among 30 men. You know, so I'm used to, I mean, men, female, it's my natural habitat, if I would say so. You know, so I don't, you know, with my staff, my collaborators, I never, I mean, think of me being woman, but just that person there, and how do you integrate or collaborate with the others and guide them.
Yes, you talk about a lot about the promotion of local material. Looking all around us, we have these things you make locally. Why do you think that Cameroonians still don't fall for it? Because you have a Cameroonian diving into a shop from where you have this kind of deco from China, whatever, and would prefer to buy from there and not come to MIPROMALO. Why do you think Cameroonians are hesitant about consuming local products?
Yeah, well...
Now I'm talking to the director of
Yes. You know, I mean, generally, if we look at our environment, our people, we are not really bold, you know, to do new things, to embrace new things. You know, it's very difficult. And I've really seen that operational, you know, being in MIPROMALO all these years. Cameroonians find it really difficult. But I know amongst others, you know, well, they feel they don't really know about these materials, where they obtain, where they are, you know, and this is an opportunity for Cameroon